Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about the WWE TLC 2020 pay-per-view. I was a bit disappointed by the fact that the Universal Championship between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens was not the main event, because the match was really good. There was some illogical spots that they did, which I'll explain when I get to that. That made them both look like complete idiots. But what happened at the end of the show was Bray Wyatt as the Fiend up against Randy Orton in a Inferno match. Yes, an Inferno match, folks. An Inferno match that Bray Wyatt should have won, and I guess apparently they decided to kill the Fiend character. Yes, folks, the Fiend, I would say, is officially buried and dead. But more than likely, they will bring this character back from the dead anyway, proving he's unstoppable and he can't be beaten. Now, how they did it, I don't know how they managed to pull this off. I don't know how the fuck they had Bray Wyatt actually do something like this. This match had to be pre-recorded or something. I have no idea. But somehow, someway, they managed to light Bray Wyatt on fire, and he stayed in the flames. He didn't move, he didn't budge, he didn't do shit. He just laid in the flames after there was gasoline poured on top of him. And he was lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. And not in a good way. And he was burning. I don't know how they managed to do this. Pretty interesting how they did it. I really wonder how they managed to pull this off. I will definitely, if I can, find some information on how they were able to do this, because I'm sure in the dirt sheets are going to discuss that and say how they managed to do something like this. Because it was never done before. I've never seen a human being actually literally burn on national television. Now, granted, it couldn't have been Bray Wyatt himself doing this spot, because if it was, how the hell would he manage to live through that? There's no possible way, unless they committed a murder on national television, which I doubt that's something they did. This is fucking crazy what they did here. It was illogical and stupid, number one. Number two, Bray Wyatt should have never lost this matchup. This match should have been his. They made him look like a fucking idiot. Not himself, but WWE once again made Bray Wyatt look like a fucking idiot. This, to me, I wouldn't be surprised as a burial, but they probably will go with the aspect of making him this supernatural being that can't be killed or destroyed. More than likely. So let's get into the card, the main card. I don't care what happened on the pre-show. I am really disappointed they put Daniel Bryan in an 8-man tag team match in the pre-show. Should have never been there to begin with. Thought that was fucking ridiculous. And now people are talking about Daniel Bryan being the Royal Rumble winner. I highly doubt that's going to happen. Sorry, but I don't see it happening. Not with him being in a pre-show 8-man tag team match. That's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let's get into the very first match of the main card. We had Chris Jericho. What the fuck am I talking about? Drew McIntyre. Sorry there, I really botched there. Drew McIntyre facing AJ Styles for the WWE Championship in a TLC match. This was the opener. I can't believe they even did this as an opener. Not that it really matters. The match sucked. I really hated this match. I wouldn't even give this 3 stars. I'm being generous just to give it a 2.5. This match sucked. Slow, retarded, and then on top of it, you had The Miz in, which was the worst fucking cash-in I have ever seen in my motherfucking life. You have the briefcase. Why would you cash in during the match? It's a TLC. It's not a regular match. It's a ladder match that you have to climb the ladder and retrieve the title in order to win it. You had to do that in order to get the briefcase in the first place. Not that he won the first time when they did the Money in the Bank ladder match, but that's what you have to do in order to win the briefcase originally. So why would you put yourself in a situation where you have to do the exact same thing to win a championship? That is the most illogical strategy I have ever seen. When Seth Rollins did it at WrestleMania 31, it made sense because it wasn't for climbing for a championship. It was a regular match. You just pin your guy and that's it. You win the title. Here, this motherfucker's trying to climb a ladder to retrieve a belt. Well, why wouldn't he do it after the match was over and then cash in on Drew McIntyre? See, my idea of Sheamus winning the briefcase from The Miz on a Monday Night Raw episode and then challenging Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble would have made a lot more sense and put more prestige to the Money in the Bank briefcase than having The Miz cash in a retarded idea to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. Fucking retarded. Drew McIntyre wins this match, and it took about 30 minutes for this match to end. This match was trash. I did not like this whatsoever. Get Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles in a one-on-one match. Get Miz out of the picture, and life would be wonderful. Next match after that was Sasha Banks versus Carmela for the Smackdown Women's Championship. This match was really good, actually. I enjoyed the matchup. I think Carmela did an excellent job with Sasha Banks, but I'm very happy that Sasha Banks won and retained the championship. So thank goodness for that, because if Carmela would have won the championship from Sasha Banks, I would have been extremely pissed off about that match ending that way. But I will give the match a 3.5 out of 5 stars for hard work and dedication in this match. Carmela, she's not the greatest women's wrestler in the world. She has improved, I would say, but definitely not noteworthy of being a women's champion just yet. She needs a little time to build her character up, get some big wins under her belt, and then eventually move into the title contention again, and then she could win the title. But right now, with Sasha Banks being as hot as she is right now with her run as the women's champion on SmackDown, I would not take that title off of her anytime soon unless you can find someone who's big enough to challenge for that title and win it, and it not being a load of crap where people will be extremely pissed off about the title change. But right now, Sasha Banks is definitely the woman you want to go with. I think that Bianca Belair, yeah, she would be the right pick at this point to take the title off of Sasha Banks. I think probably by SummerSlam that should happen. I think Sasha Banks should stay champion beyond WrestleMania at this point. Gives Bianca Belair some time to pick up some wins over the next couple of months. Her winning the Royal Rumble, I would not do right now. That's too soon. If you do that, you would need to have her lose to Sasha Banks, because having Sasha Banks lose to an upcomer out of nowhere would be outrageously stupid. So I would definitely go with Bianca Belair, but later on during next year, in 2021. The Raw Tag Team titles were on the line. We had the New Day of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston defending the tag titles against the Hurt Business with Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. This matchup was a really good match, but at the same time, given the fact that the Hurt Business have had multiple title opportunities to win the tag team titles, and 3 different occasions they lost, they finally win on the 4th opportunity, doesn't make the championship seem all that important. Not to mention, why the fuck would a tag team that's lost 3 times in a row for tag team title gold get another opportunity when they haven't been able to win at least once out of those 3 times? That's fucking retarded. If you got 2 tag teams, let's just put it this way. If you got 2 tag teams, and that's all you got, and you got to make some time to get some more tag teams made up, which is what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to take singles competitors that they're not using a whole lot, put them in a tag team, and make them work together. That is what they're going to have to do. As crazy as that sounds, and something that I think is a smart move, some other people may not agree with that idea, but with the situation being the way it is, they don't have any tag teams. They need to build them up in each brand. I think Ricochet turning and becoming part of the Retribution and being a tag team with Mustafa Ali, I think that would be a fucking fantastic idea. Those 2 guys working together as a tag team and being tag team champions, I think would give them a lot of good. They could also maybe eventually break them away from this whole group with Mace, Slapjack, Jack Nuts, Slap Nuts, whatever you want to fucking call these dipshits. Get rid of them, cut them out of the picture, get rid of this whole Retribution shit faction and just have Retribution be just Ricochet and Mustafa Ali. I would be cool with that. And just call them Retribution instead of this so-called takeover of WWE garbage. Because they ain't taking over shit. I mean, if you wanted to do an alliance war with WWE type of shit, you got to do a lot better than that. I mean, that was just fucking garbage what they did with Retribution starting out the beginning of 2020. But yeah, Hurt Business wins the tag team titles. They won the tag team titles, and now they're the tag team champions for the very first time. Cedric Alexander is showing some signs of character change, getting very, very confident in himself. Also, a little too cocky. It looks more like he's trying to take over the Hurt Business and be the head guy in that group. Being that Bobby Lashley, though, is the head guy because he's the muscle behind the group. So, not quite sure what's going on there. I don't know where they're going to go with it, but I like the way they're making Cedric Alexander a very important entity in the Hurt Business and making him seem like they're going to push him, make him a star, do something with him instead of turning him into complete and utter garbage. So, kudos to WWE on that with Cedric Alexander. I think he definitely deserves it. He has worked in a Ring of Honor and other promotions, has had some really great matches, and I think he deserves a nice push. Maybe a world title opportunity would be kind of a cool idea for them to do later on next year. Just some ideas I think might be nice for Cedric Alexander. I think a world title opportunity, not winning the championship, but just getting a shot at it would be kind of a cool idea for him. Just to give him an opportunity to get his feet wet on a main event type of scene. But making him like a B-plus player at the moment throughout 2021 would be a good idea. Maybe get him the mid-card championship somewhere down the line. Make him a U.S. champion, have him do a good run with that for a little bit. And then near by the end of this year, or 2021, maybe give him a title opportunity against whoever is the WWE champion. I mean, that would be probably a nice idea for them to do. What else here? Let's think. Well, we then had the women's tag team titles on the line. This is fucking ridiculous. They had Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax defending the tag team titles against Asuka, and who's their mystery partner? I was hearing on YouTube somebody posted a video stating that Ronda Rousey was going to be our tag team partner for the tag team titles. I'd have been cool with that. That would have been pretty fucking badass. Would have made a little sense too. But they picked Charlotte. Yes, folks, Charlotte is her tag team partner, and they became the tag team champions. And guess who got the pinfall? Your robotic machine wrestling female impersonator, Charlotte Flair. She won the tag team titles for her and Asuka. Gee, I wonder where this is leading to. I really wonder. Let me think. Charlotte Flair facing Asuka at WrestleMania for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Of course. Of course they are. Now, the only thing they could do here that I'd be okay with is Asuka wins. That's the only other option they can go with. But what have we learned, students, in the world of professional wrestling in WWE? We always center it around Charlotte Flair when it comes to women's division. She always wins the women's championship. She's always the champ. And does any of her title reigns mean anything? Do they have any prestige? Do they have any purpose? No, we're just adding the number of title wins under her belt so she can surpass her father. Oh my God, what fucking retards. I seriously think that Vince McMahon needs to get a lobotomy. Something, man, because Charlotte Flair winning the championship, they said 12 times. The woman's won the title 12 times. She's already shattered the record of how many reigns of being world champion for the women's division. She's going to shatter it even more. She's not even... I wouldn't even say she's halfway through her career, and she's already shattered the women's record of the most title wins in the women's division. That's fucking ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah. This matchup, nothing special here. By the way, going back to the Raw Tag Team title match, I'm giving that match a 3 out of 5 stars, simply because of the fact of how stupid it was to give them a 4th title opportunity to win the tag team titles to begin with. So that's just my reasoning behind that. This match, I'm giving a 3 out of 5 stars as well. Same reasoning. Why the fuck would you put Asuka and Charlotte together? It makes no sense. They have been rivals. Charlotte has beaten her twice in the 2 matches that they've had. Asuka has never won. I think it's fucking retarded. Now they're acting like buddies. Give me a fucking break. It makes no sense. They've never been friends. They've always been enemies or opponents. Give me a fucking break, man. That's ridiculous. Next thing after that, I believe, was the WWE Universal Championship match. And that match was a really good match. I mean, best match on the card, but it was also illogical as well. Here's the reason why. Twice, and I mean twice, Kevin Owens had the opportunity to win the Universal Championship. Now, granted, I understand he wasn't meant to win the championship. You don't put him in situations or spots in the match itself, making it look like he's going to be really in a really good spot where he could just grab the title and pull on the Velcro and that's it, and he wins the belt. He had that twice in this matchup. It was fucking ridiculous. You got him climbing up the ladder. Okay, great. He gets up to the ladder and he goes halfway and somebody shows up like Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, and they stop him. But when you get to the very tippy top of the ladder and you're right by the belt, I don't give a fuck if somebody's at the bottom of the ladder. You don't stand there, hold the belt, look down at the guy while he's climbing up the ladder and wait for him to stop you from getting the fucking championship. That was a stupid fucking spot. And that happened twice in this match. That is freaking sad. That's number 1. Number 2, Roman Reigns, he looked like an idiot as well. He had Kevin Owens beat, battered, bruised, and fucking killed in that match. And he managed to do all that damage, and yet he wanted to do more when all he had to do while he had Kevin Owens on the floor, outside the ring, not in the ring itself, but outside the ring, he put him through 2 fucking tables, and yet he wanted to spear Kevin Owens through a freaking barricade in the same fucking spot we've seen multiple times, only this time, instead of spearing him, he goes through it by himself. That's retarded. And Kevin Owens should have won there as well. And yet he couldn't because of Jey Uso. Jey Uso apparently got some sprained ankle situation happen during the early stages of the match. And yet he was able to come back regardless. So I don't quite understand any of that. That's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. But anyway, Roman Reigns won the match. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I would give it 5 stars, actually, if the match would have made logical sense, if it was done correctly. There was spots that, like I said, was not done right. It made them look ridiculous. It's fucking retarded. But at the end of the day, they made Kevin Owens look like a real challenger to Kevin Owens. He fought his heart out, and bottom line, I'm not surprised by that. What I'm hoping is we actually see Kevin Owens win the Royal Rumble and get the opportunity to challenge for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania for another rematch. Not another rematch, but a rematch for the Universal title in the main event of WrestleMania. I think that would be a fantastic idea on their part. I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks now since they started this storyline. Because, quite frankly, Kevin Owens is coming across like somebody we as the people can get behind and relate to. Not because he's, chubby or anything like that. He's a blue-collar worker. He wasn't given anything. Daniel Bryan, yeah, it would have worked if we were in 2014, 2015. It would have worked back then if Roman Reigns would have been a heel. It's a different story now. Daniel Bryan is not in the same level he used to be in before he left the WWE with the major injury he had with his neck. So, granted, if Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble, I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I'm kind of dumbfounded how they could pass this by, because quite frankly, I truly believe that fans, if they were actually there at this event, people would have been screaming their heads off for this match. This was an awesome, awesome match, and a match that I think deserves to give Kevin Owens another shot for the WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania, and give him a Royal Rumble win on top of it. I think he really deserves it. He has had nothing going on in his career in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, actually 2 years. He hasn't done shit in 2 fucking years. Give this man a break already and give him a run for something big in his career that means something. So that's just my attitude on that. The main event was Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. This wasn't even really a match. It was more like a fucking movie type match within the arena or Tropicana field itself. And would I have liked to be there and seen it in person? Yeah, I think it would have been fucking awesome. But I just don't understand like how they managed to pull off this spot where they lit freaking Bray Wyatt on fire. It really didn't make any sense to me how they were able to do this and actually, make it safe. So, I'm going to definitely have to research that. This matchup, I'm giving a 2.5 out of 5 stars. The reason why it's even getting a 2.5, because truthfully, if it wasn't for a storytell that they were doing in this matchup, I clearly would fucking put this as a 0. This would be a fucking 0 egg. I mean, this would be fucking like, you get my point. I'm losing train of thought here because I'm kind of tired and yeah, I got work tomorrow. Whoopee. Anyway, yeah, this matchup does get a 2.5 for storytelling that occurred during this matchup, because the wrestling itself was absolute trash. This was not wrestling. This was like watching one of those cinematic movie type of shit that they've been doing this past year. And, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. By the way, I'd like to thank the 3 new subscribers on the channel today for joining World of Wrestling. I greatly appreciate it. I hope I continue to get more and more subscribers. I want to do this. I'm trying my best to, release as many videos as possible to you guys every week. With my work and, my own life, I want to be able to have a life besides just doing the videos. But I appreciate for the 3 new subscribers that just joined the channel. I greatly appreciate that. And please, if you guys enjoy these videos, hit the like button if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And of course, as always, leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. I don't know why nobody really leaves a comment on what I have to say, but I definitely would like to hear from you guys and, share opinions with each other and get to hear what you guys think about the reviews or what the show was like and how you felt about it as well. That's what we're here for. So guys, leave a comment down below and I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have a great night. Bye.